Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Why is the market crashing? Well, funny enough, Bitcoin's not crashing. It's just the stock market that's going down. And I think that's because there is an egregious amount of buying pressure within the Bitcoin and crypto landscape. Good afternoon. I already said that. How is everyone doing today? We are in a very interesting time in the market, and we will go over that and more in today's live stream. I have a few specific charts I want to pull up, but let's go ahead and start off immediately by requesting that you guys like the live stream. Please, for the love of God, like the live stream. It is the only thing that brings me joy in life. I'm just kidding. That's a little bit sad, actually. I don't mean that in the slightest. I find joy in a lot of things, but the reason why the market is down today in the stock market world is because of the jobs report that came out here today. We all knew this was coming, and we all anticipated a little bit of a rocky market after the announcement of this jobs report. The jobs report came in a little bit hotter than it was expecting, meaning more jobs were created in the month of December than everyone was expecting by almost 100%. I think it's like 60% higher or something like that, which is pretty massive. The forecast being 155,000, and we actually got 256,000, which was an increase from the previous month. We also saw a tick down in the unemployment rate by 0.1%. Why on earth is the stock market going down when it looks as if the economy is getting better? The answer to that, you're not going to like, but it's pretty simple. It's that the Fed has been cutting rates in anticipation of a weaker economic forecast, and yet what we're seeing is a speed up in the economy, which means something or someone is potentially incorrect. The market doesn't like not knowing what's going on. And so seeing a stronger economy will cause the market to react to the downside because they were expecting a weak economy. All right, counterintuitive, but that is how the market works. It's not market manipulation. It is blatant human psychology charted. That's all the market is. It's human psychology on a graph. So if you can learn to read humans, you'll learn to read the markets pretty well. All right, guys, good morning, Beagle, aka the first of those investors to arrive in the morning live stream. GM. Good morning, MK. Good morning, Zaj. What's going on, Martian? What's good, Beagle? David's in here in the chat. What's good, Zach? Martin, Spectruth, Remy, Derek's even here right now. Damn, I haven't seen that face in a very long time. I'm watching the video of Amanda sticking you with that needle. So funny. Oh, God, Derek, please. I thought it was going to be so much worse than it really was. It's just chilling my arm. Barely even notice it. Good morning, Tank. What's good, Stare? What's good, Martin? Camille's in here. Bullish. This is a stacked chat right now. Steve the Canadian. Here's how the YouTube works. Smash that like button, my dudes. Hell yeah. We're going to pin that comment. We even have Winos over on X. Welcome into the live stream. I appreciate you being here. Any results on it yet? Unfortunately, Derek, this device is gated to only allow Germans to use it. So because of US compliances with HIPAA, they're not allowed to get any of my data. What's good, Craig? What's happening in the market for January? That is a good question. So we're getting a massive amount of reports of different job reports and just the stuff that we get every single month. So we're going to get a lot of economic data this month, and it looks like the economic data is hotter than everyone was expecting, meaning the market got something wrong, meaning things are going down. The perfect example of this, and it's a little bit complicated, but it's also not that complicated if you want to take the time to listen and hear me out for a second. Let's go to the 10-year. We go to the 10-year US Treasury note, and we get rid of the moving averages, and you notice that the 10-year Treasury is starting to actually skyrocket up to 4.75%. If we go over here to the daily chart, we are making our ways back to cycle highs, which is the highest the 10-year Treasury has been in a very long time. The 10-year Treasury is the functional interest rate that the economy uses, meaning the economy, the market, is raising interest rates despite the federal funds rate coming down. You can see that pretty clearly right here. The federal funds rate is coming down because the Fed is cutting rates for the banks. However, the economy's interest rate is going up, which means that the economy is putting itself in a more restrictive environment while the Fed is simultaneously trying to make the environment easier for the banking industry and thus the broader economy in the United States. This is a problem because it means there's a disagreement in what's going on. One of these two market participants is incorrect. If it's the Federal Reserve, it's not a good look. If it's the market, it's also probably not a good look if we're being totally honest with each other here, because every single time this happens, it is the precursor to a recession. Because anytime the Federal Reserve has interest rates higher than what the market is deeming interest rates should be, that means they're intentionally trying to slow the economy down, aka induce some sort of a recession with the goal of a soft landing, but it almost never occurs that way. And the moment we get an inversion right here where right here. The moment we get an inversion in which we go back into a normal environment where the federal funds rate is below the functional interest rate, aka the 10-year Treasury note, that always has sparked a recession. And so everyone is kind of freaking out right now. The one saving grace potentially is that usually when we get that inversion, the 10-year we don't get the recession until the 10-year starts to collapse. And so we got that inversion. Now everyone's waiting for the 10-year to start to collapse. But again, the economy is looking fairly strong. One thing I do want to point out, one thing that's very important to understand when it comes to the monthly job creations, this is a phony number. This number is not real. It's fake. They make it up based off of estimates, and then they reserve the right to go back and revise it lower or higher whenever they want to. AKA, if you guys remember over the summer, they came out and said that that last year's labor market actually created 800,000 fewer jobs than initially thought, which means this number could be fake as well, just to give that perception that the economy is doing better. We don't know until it's too late, though. So time is going to tell. One thing that is pretty unique also, and I'm going off a little bit of a rant here, I'm sorry, but we'll get into some of the crypto markets in a few minutes here. One thing that's pretty unique is if you go around the world and look at other interest rates and other treasury notes, they're all falling off a cliff right now. China's 10-year government bond is at the lowest it's been in an egregious amount of time. Look at this. It's been days of just pure, like, they're rugging. China's government is rugging the interest rate right now, or at least not the government, but China's economy is rugging the interest rate. Look at this on the weekly chart. It is nothing but red since March of 2021, and all of a sudden since December, it's literally just rugging, going straight down. And if you zoom all the way out to what we have on our market representing the 10-year from Chinese bonds, it is the lowest it's been since we started recording it in 03, or at least since this metric was put on the market. Let's go C90 with the gift, WC90, WWW. I appreciate that. Let's go. There's a lot of other bond markets right now that are tanking. Okay, I know that we talk extensively about crypto and decentralized science. I'm going to take this opportunity to give you guys an idea for a potential trade, which is likely a really good trade. Okay, hear me out. Will the US economy continue on forever without a recession? The answer is obviously no. The question is, when is that recession coming? Not if the recession is coming. When the recession does hit us, the 10-year Treasury in the United States is going to plummet in its yield, aka the ETF, which represents the inverse of the yield, aka TLT, is going to skyrocket in valuation. Now, skyrocket in valuation for bonds is not like the same in crypto, right? We might see us in a recession. I imagine we might see us get up to like 125 on TLT, which is 50% gains, which is pretty crazy if you think about that as a function of buying a bond. You could buy a bond and get 50% gains. Or if you guys want to continue that degen activity and not get rid of risk, right? Buying a bond should theoretically get rid of some of your risk. But if you don't and you love risk and you're just here for the thrill of fluctuations in your portfolio, then what you might want to look into, not suggesting you do it, but I'm suggesting that you look into it, is scooping up some call options, maybe dated out 6 to 8 months. Or if you think we're going to last all of 2025 without a recession, maybe you start prepping your ideas for a play that expires sometime mid 2026. And then you can get some leveraged exposure to when the inevitable happens and we snap back up to a normal environment, right? Because the idea would be that the 10-year Treasury in the United States eventually will follow what all of the other 10-year Treasuries across the world are doing right now. Little food for thought. Obviously right now, if you're in that trade, if you purchase some TLT, you're down pretty bad because the economy continues to look hotter and hotter. However, you can fake all the numbers. And in my opinion, they're faking the numbers until Trump gets in, and then they'll let us see what the real numbers are. But all right, guys. Does that make sense to you guys? Can I get a 1 in the chat if my rant there makes sense? It is, if as you guys are taking some profits on some crypto stuff, it might be a good idea to start looking into diversifying into some less risky assets like bonds or other stocks. We got a bunch of 1s in the chat. Bullish. Let's go. Let's pull up the 10-year again. This is, you guys all know what it is that I was talking about here. This is the inversion of the yield curve. Happened back here in November 22. Everyone started freaking out, but the real freak out doesn't come until roughly 3 to 6 months after the uninversion. We are now 1 week or 1 month into the uninversion of the yield curve. Historically, we have 3 to 6 months before shit hits the fan. 1, rant approved, bullish. Yeah, every single one of you guys approved that rant. Let's go. Sell green, not red, hodl on. Yeah, in my opinion, this is not something to be afraid of, what's going on right now. In my opinion, the market is still primed. Nothing has changed. This job report changes nothing from my standpoint. From most market participants, this doesn't change a single thing for their investment thesis. Some people are freaking out over it, but let's be real. You're freaking out about a good economy? That's kind of weird. What happened last time we had inflation go nuts? Do you guys remember? You guys remember what happened to the market last time inflation went crazy? Because that's the fear here, is that inflation's going to pick back up. If they there's 2 scenarios. One is that the Fed is correct in keeping rates low. And if that's the case, that means we're about to head into a recession, which is what everyone was expecting, which means that nothing has changed. The other case is that the Fed is wrong and they are stimulating an economy which is about to go into inflation. We know the Fed doesn't pivot really quickly, which means that they would be inducing some inflation before raising interest rates again. What happened last time they induced a bunch of inflation? We saw the craziest crypto rally, the craziest stock rally that we had ever seen in modern history. We saw some of the craziest returns ever after all that nonsense going on with inflation. Once they realized it was out of control and they had to start tightening stuff, that's when we saw a bit of a correction, right? But while they're letting the market roar, while they're being too easy on the market just goes straight up, you know? So I don't think it's worth losing any of your bags over, in my humbled opinion. Not yet, at least. That will probably change, but this set of readings didn't change a single thing for me. Which stocks to buy with crypto profits? Wonderful question, Beagle. I have not actually started researching any stocks yet. Stocks are a different beast than crypto though, guys. I want you guys to be fully aware of this. And the way I do stocks is very different than how I do crypto. Crypto, I go chasing after hot narratives with strong teams that have good tokenomics, right? Those are kind of my 3 golden data points that I look for when I'm going after new crypto investments. When I'm going after new stocks, you got to get in the weeds. You got to understand their financial reports. You got to know what their price to earnings are, their price to earnings growth ratios. You got to understand if they're making money or if they're about to make money. There's a lot more work that goes into the stock market than the crypto market. You can't just chase after hype narratives because they don't work the same in the stock market. And then what I do with my bags, and we'll go over this when we get into the bear market and it's time to start looking at stocks more aggressively. I like to churn the wheel on my stock positions. How many of you guys know what I'm saying when I say that? Churn the wheel with my stock positions. What would change your mind about the market going up? That's a really good question. That's a really good question, actually. I think my mind would change about the market going up when we get the recession. I know it's not probably the greatest answer for you right now, but my mind would change when we see some concrete evidence that the party is over. But this shows me that the party is about to last a little bit longer, actually. This shows me that the party is extending, not about to be over. So once we start seeing like this trend start breaking down, I would believe that the party is over. We were getting very, very, very close, but it looks like we're picking back up for a nice little another leg. There we go. C90 knows what I mean by churning the wheel on my stock positions. We'll get into that. Don't worry. When it's time. Stocks equals balance sheets. Crypto equals team narrative support. Agreed. I mean, the team, the narrative also go into stocks, right? That's how you get high PEs and everything. But the stock's foundation is easier to see and read. Therefore, a lot of the valuations come from the foundational stuff on the balance sheet, right? Hope everyone hits that like button. Let's go. SCHD is a great ETF with a dividend. I hate dividends, personally speaking, Spec Truth. I know a lot of people love dividends and they are good when you're in the wealth preservation mode, but if you're trying to grow your wealth, a dividend is not something I'm usually keen on having in my portfolio. The reason being is because a dividend is just a taxable selling event. Whenever a stock or an ETF issues a dividend, let's say you have $100, or let's say, I'm going way off the rails here with this one, but this is a good piece of information for you guys. Let's say dividend for Apple. I don't know what the actual dividend, you know what? So the quarterly dividend for Apple is 25 cents, okay? If we go to Apple, every time they issue that dividend, the stock price will go down pre-market by the exact amount that the dividend is, okay? So 25 cents quarterly dividend. Every quarter, Apple's stock price will fall on the day of the X dividend by exactly 25 cents every time, which means that your position in your portfolio fell by the exact amount of cash you received in that dividend, meaning all they did was make you sell a little bit of it. It's like a dilution event. All a dividend is a dilution event, a taxable event in which you are forced to sell a small part of your position. So that's good when you need that income, but if you don't need the income from a dividend, for me, if you're not at the stage in which it makes sense to start receiving dividends, it doesn't really make sense to get into it unless you're prepping for it, right? Maybe you're about to retire in like 5 years, so it's time to start building your dividend portfolio. But I'm getting a little bit in the weeds here, a little nuanced with it. I'm aggressively growth investment orientated. So that's why we're in crypto though. I'm assuming most of you guys are in there as well. What about trade dividends for Eagle AI? Let's go. Let's go, Eagle AI. Hey, I'm on the older side. We all leave Spec Truth alone. I'm on the older side as well. Leave Spec Truth alone. If you have your portfolio ready, if you're at the point where you're trying to preserve your wealth, not grow your wealth, and it's actually at the point where you need some of that money, dividends are great. But if you're not there, I'm not there. It doesn't make sense for me. Long-term capital gains tax is the lowest rate and the cash flow is good for expenses. Yeah. No, I know all the benefits of it for sure. They're very powerful. Like Warren Buffett receives a disgusting amount in dividends. That's because he just buys and never sells, hoping that the stock will pay him a dividend and increase that dividend over time. I'm just saying. Okay. Now, Craig over here asked twice what my January prediction is for the market. In my opinion, I still have the circle here running through roughly the end of January. I don't really want to move it, but I might have to move it a little bit over, but I'm going to leave it here until we've definitively passed it on the 28th. I was hoping we'd hit it up here before all of this nonsense happened, but we had 3 pretty brutal days in the market. I think now that the economic reports are done, let's go ahead and see actually. I'm always so bad at spelling calendar. I don't know why it's my kryptonite. So today we are done with the reports for today. So we got the unemployment rate, which came in at 4.1 when last month was 4.2. Oh wait, did we? No, we got 4.2. I thought we got 4.1. Okay. We got a wage increase, US wages hourly increase by 0.4%. We got the year over year increase of 4%, which is good. But again, look at what that means. I know it's a meme right now, and we should probably pull up the meme because it's pretty funny. People are making more money and the market's going down. That's because this 4% is higher than inflation, which means inflation is heating back up on the core metrics that make up part of that inflation reading, right? You guys understand that, right? US inflation is less than 4%, meaning if people are earning 4% more than they were last year, that means we are entering into a wage price spiral again. Not really, and I hope we don't do that again because that was nonsense. But it looks like we're done with a lot of the economic reporting. We get the monthly US federal budget. Nobody really cares too much about that one. And then we have the CPI and the PPI releases next week on the 14th and the 15th. And then the inauguration, it looks like we get the jobless claim. I guess we have a lot of stuff from now until Trump gets in office. I think all of these readings are going to come in favorable for the current administration until it's time for Trump to take office. And my expectation is that we get a bit of a rally into Trump taking office. I don't know that we'll end up hitting my circle like I was hoping we would back here, but so be it. I still remain pretty optimistic about the month of January as we continue forward. But on a technical standpoint, if you kind of take a look at this, it is, and we've pointed this out so many times, and I'm not alone in pointing this out, but it is quite literally the same little rally that we had back here at the exact same time last year, right? So we got a rally into a long consolidation phase, which lasted for, I think, 2 months. And then at the end of the 2 months, we got another boost up, which kind of corresponds to my circle a little bit. And then my second circle up here, right? So if we are to repeat the same as last year, then this is what we would kind of get. And I kind of just spread it out a little bit more in anticipation of things taking longer, right? So maybe I should just move my circle over, but I won't. Hope that helps, Craig. That's just my opinion, but we got to be reactive to the market. You guys are not going to like this one. You guys are not going to like that one, but I think we have to come back and tag the trend line. Also, from a technical standpoint, if we kind of give the moving averages back and go to the daily, every single time we've had one of these legs up so far in this bull run, we'll go back to the very beginning and I'll remove, because it's good to let everyone kind of see what's going on. If we just go down to the 100-day moving average, when we bottomed back in 2022, we had that first leg up and a consolidation period. At the end of the consolidation, we came down and tagged the 100-day moving average before going and making a new high and then consolidating for a really long time. Then we get another leg up, we consolidate for a little bit, we come down, tag the 100-day moving average, make another large move up before consolidating for another really long time. Now we had the next move up. I think it's possible we consolidate for a period of time, tag the 100-day moving average. This is if I'm wrong with us touching this circle up here. This is what I think will happen. We'll come down, tag the 100-day moving average before making another leg up and potentially consolidating for a really long time again. And then if we get the 4-year cycle, hopefully we get one final leg up to 200K. But this next move up, whenever this comes, depending on how hot this looks and how bad the economy looks, that might be it. We're drinking water today. Am I doing a good job without the energy drinks, guys? Not sponsored, although it should be. Let's get some Bill water. As far as the technical analysis on my AI agent here, Bill, the DeSci guy, he is holding up very nicely. This is the hourly chart. If we kind of come up to the daily chart, he has definitely been bleeding a little bit, but he's holding up nicely. In the Telegram chat for Bill. I posted a video here last night or this morning, I think. I don't remember exactly when I posted it. I posted the Diamond member chat. I posted it last night, but I would, if you guys are a holder of Bill, I would definitely go into the Telegram after this live stream and watch that video I posted, because we have a crazy good membership partnership cooking, but because of the scope of what's being created, the scope of what, oh, we just got a new member, bullish. The scope, in the description, you can find the link to the Telegram if you guys want to go join. And as you guys are going down there, please hit that like button. It means a lot to us. It helps the metrics. It helps boost the word of decentralized science. Agree, kick the can down the road. For sure, Martin. For sure. That's the ultimate goal. Kick the can down the road. Yeah, we have a really cool partnership announcement that will be coming soon enough, but due to the scope of the partnership for our AI agent here, we need to make sure that the marketing for it is appropriate. We can't just announce it willy-nilly. And so a lot of cool things are being built for Bill right now. And when it is time to reveal all of it, we will. The members will get to know the kind of marketing plan beforehand so that you guys can help out. Because honestly, like I said in the beginning of this, one of the things that helps drive the price in crypto is narrative. And narrative is driven by community. So having a strong community push helps create the narrative. The narrative of Bill here is that we're taking CZ's favorite investment categories, that is AI, decentralized science, and blockchain. We're merging them together, and we created a giant funnel to allow for all of the new people who enter into the DeSci narrative to kind of figure out what's going on and have it simplified, dumbed down, if you will, because there's a lot of cool things happening here in the world of decentralized science, but it's difficult for people to really wrap their heads around the different funding mechanisms and the different IP NFTs and what their actual extent is, or the scope of having a decentralized autonomous organization create an intellectual property which is owned by a community that also has a corresponded biotech company that is working on cures for cancer. Like, that kind of stuff is super convoluted, and hopefully we can get to the point where Bill is the go-to resource for everyone in decentralized science, along with a lot of other cool things that are happening. But again, that's part of the stuff I can't necessarily share right now. So yes, thank you for listening to my TED Talk, ladies and gentlemen. I agree, it would cripple the market with everyone pulling out. If everyone sells, the Ponzi's over, my guy. Even the stock market. If everyone sells the S&P 500, we're cooked. I don't see Trump allow unrealized gain taxes, especially with Musk around. Yeah, no, the unrealized capital gains tax was the stupidest thing anyone's ever said. No way in hell anyone is letting that go through. That's a great question. Personally, I think it will never happen. Unfortunately, we are waiting to hear what announcement Trump makes once he gets into office. Exactly. Agree. That's happy little Brontosaurus on your chart. Brontosaurus on your chart? What the hell is that? The Greenland and Canada comment are very out of the blue. They're very funny, though. He's just a random dude. He's just a random dude. I hope they make a law where Congress cannot borrow against Social Security. That would be nice. That would be nice. Welcome in, Citizen Mike, to the Telegram. Malay is great at marketing. I like how effective he is at it, but the actual number of jobs he has sliced is quite small for the size of the government. Yeah. Down to support Bill in any way. Just let me know how and when. Let's go, Martin. That's where the raids come into play. The raids, baby. The raids are powerful. Pat, can you end the bear market of December 18th to now, please and thanks? That would be the most beautiful thing ever. If I had that power, I probably wouldn't yet. I do think we need to have a long and extended period of consolidation so that we can get used to these prices, right? Think about what has happened over the last 2 months, okay? Believe it or not, we've been in this price range for 60 days. We've been in here for 2 months, okay? And in that time period, think about what has happened. What once was pure euphoria when Bitcoin hit 93,000 back on November of 2024, what was pure euphoria is now pure FUD. The sentiment is so bad in the market yesterday. Now it's looking a little bit better as we're up 2%. But sentiment yesterday was crazy bearish. And that was just the same price we were at 2 months ago. So I think we've kind of done it. We've already reset the market and expectations for people. But these types of periods are much needed. And I would much rather prefer consolidations like this versus the crazy crashes that we used to get. Right? These crash periods, those are scary. Those actually might make people sell their bags. Consolidation periods don't make people sell their bags. They just get accustomed to their new portfolio prices and then want more and are willing to buy more, which I did. I've been buying some new stuff. Not new, I've just been adding to positions like Dynex. After the Jensen FUD that came out 2 days ago about quantum computing being 30 years away, and then realizing that all 38 of us in the Discord got a private showcasing or demo day of what Dynex is capable of on a quantum service network, knowing that Dynex is releasing their chip this year, knowing that Dynex is literally said we're going to try and make the price go up, knowing that Dynex is onboarding real institutional customers, not partners, customers, people that are paying to use their service, knowing they're about to be put on AWS for quantum as a service, like knowing all those things, you can blatantly see that Jensen is wrong, and that's okay. He's allowed to be wrong. It's impossible for any one person to know everything, but that just gives me a lot of conviction in this one play specifically, especially when you look at a technical standpoint. And I know the chart is pretty atrocious, but that's does not bother me, especially seeing divergences like this, right? We have a lower low on the chart, and yet the RSI is a higher low. That is a clear bullish divergence. That is like very explicitly what happens right before you see pops in the price. It happened back here. It just wasn't a pop that was able to get us out of the down channel. But look at there. You see that downward momentum, right? The price was going down, and yet simultaneously the RSI was heating up. And so then what we saw was this spike up 50% in the price, right? So it's happening again. It's pretty clear and it's pretty beautiful and it makes me happy. But that's right now, that's kind of one of the only things I'm buying right now. Everything else, just our cost basis on in DeSci is so low that it's like, I don't know that I really want to buy it. Another thing I scooped up a good chunk of the other day, right before this drop, was DeSci. 1 for the ticker, 2 for the AI agent narrative, 3 for the DeSci narrative. So I definitely piled in. I bought some back here, and then I piled in a little bit more right here, and now it's down. I haven't bought any more. And then the only other thing would be Bill. However, I'm already very exposed to Bill. It's kind of unhealthy, but I have a problem, and that is that I just keep buying. I bought while it was still on the bonding curve, obviously, and then I bought aggressively through here. And so like we're kind of getting back close to that. And if Bill were to see theoretically a retest of this previous high back here, which I really don't want to see, but if it does come down to see that, like a 13 or 14 cent, probably back down to 15, I would scoop, like I would start dumping money into it again, just because insider trading, right? I'm just kidding, SEC. That's a lie. That's a lie. I did not insider trade anything. I'll file it with you guys. I'm telling you guys, I bought some. I'm not selling. In fact, I've just been locking up everything because I'm farming that creator bid airdrop. That creator bid airdrop. You go look at the other agent launch pads that are going on right now. Like you guys, I know all of you guys have been seeing Max, right? Max has been ripping like crazy. $135 million market cap. Max absolutely skyrocketed. Max is the same type of thing as creator bid. So creator bid is going to launch and I think go crazy up, right? You go look at virtuals. Virtuals, they don't even have it. Where is it? AI16 or AIXBT just got announced that they're going to be listed on Binance, which is crazy. Where's the virtuals token? Thank you. Come on. What's the ticker? There we go. Virtual. That's why I couldn't find it. They're at a $1.5 billion market cap. Creator bid is the same as virtual. Creator bid is the same thing as virtual, just in my opinion, a little bit better. Virtual has just got that first mover advantage. And so creator bid, we are farming airdrops for the creator bid launch of their token simply by buying Bill and locking up the tokens, right, in the membership portal. You go look at stuff like Bill. Bill's got a $4.3 million market cap, which is relatively small, but because of the amount of TVM and how they're doing their algorithm for the points reward structure for their bid token airdrop, you buy agent tokens and lock them up. The more agent tokens that are locked up and the higher the TVM is for that, the higher weighted your lock is with generating points for the bid airdrop. And so almost all of my Bill tokens are locked up in this to farm this airdrop to the maximum extent. And then you go look at some of the other projects. Like we have $2.25 million in TVM. You go look at some of the others. They have a lot. They have 9 million, but this is the number one agent. You go look at, we kind of like sparked that trend. You go look at them. They still have a lot too. They're at 6 million. You go look at some of the ones that are closer to us in market cap, like Amen. You're looking at just over 1 million. So we have over double the TVM, which means we get over double the weight in the points. You go look at Shogun, which is at a 5.7 million market cap, and he's sitting lower than Bill. You go look at Eolus, they got lower than Bill. You go look at Algo. Algo's probably got more because this is like their mascot. Barely more. So Bill, because of that dynamic, you get a lot of points when you're farming Bill's tokens. So that's super bullish. But I'm definitely going to try and buy some bid presale. I know. Whenever they do finally announce that creator bid presale, I'm going to want to get in. I'm going to want to get into that presale as long as the vesting is good, because we saw that they're focused very extensively on trying to reward the users and the community members to the point where they turned down like $2 million of raised money because it came from bots and not users. Remember when they did that presale like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, and then it got botted like crazy? And then they undid the whole presale. They denied the millions of dollars that they were given so that they could do it again and let the community get money and get in on it. Crazy. Did you see my question, Patrick, about Bill? I want to buy it, but need to be swayed to. LOL ETH, I need my hand held or I just can't do it. That's all right, Steve. I'm not here to persuade anyone to make any kind of financial decisions. Join the Telegram group and look around. Join the Telegram group, look at some of the documentation, read what our goal is with Bill, and then make your decision. But if you don't want to buy it, I am not going to persuade you to buy it. Honestly, don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's a micro cap AI agent in decentralized science. You're getting risk on risk on risk. It's $4 million market cap. That's super small. You're looking at 2 emerging narratives. That's extremely risky. You're like, I know CZ said he was super bullish on it, but you're looking at AI agents, which have been exploding, potentially even in a bubble. You don't know. And then you're looking at decentralized science, which when you look at DeSci, it's on another red day, down 11% today. Why would you get involved with something that merges 2 of these industries when they're so volatile and so new? You're taking risk to the next level. Patrick forced me actually to buy Bill. God damn it, no. I did not force anyone, Beagle. The only one I forced in here to buy, I don't even think is actually in here. I did kind of force Aaron to buy, but that's okay. Because it's the future, Pat. Let's go. Price prediction for Dynex, $100 per coin. I'm actually serious. That is my actual price prediction for Dynex. It is a bit moon boy-ish, but that would put it at a $10 billion market cap. If we get the full-scale bull run, Dynex is going to $100 per token, in my opinion. If we get a small little subtle bull run, I could see us getting up to $10 to $20. This is a $1 trillion company, a $1 trillion project, which is trading at a disgustingly low valuation. I think by the end of the bull run, Craig, That's just my prediction, though. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But hell, even if I'm wrong by a factor of 90% and we only get to $10, that is 5,000% returns from here. I'll take a 50x. Delroy must be busy. Oh my God. Can we force Mark to buy now too? I tried to. The dude's so lazy. Sorry, Mark, if you're watching. Did you force Mandy to buy? I did not force Mandy to buy anything. No, she buys her own stuff. She makes some crazy good calls, like Hack. You guys remember Hack? H4CK. We could go over so many calls she's made. She is really good at picking really good projects. Might be time to scoop up some more Hack, actually. This is from Virtuals. It is a gray hat hacker agent which goes around trying to exploit different projects and then hold the exploitation for ransom. And then they pay some of that ransom to the token holders. Pretty crazy idea. And it is honestly super viral and it's already working. It's doing good for those projects by pointing out the exploitations. What was Mandy's latest call? Lastest call. Oh my God, Truth. You gave me a little aneurysm in my brain. Probably Bill, honestly, which has gone really good. But I think Hack might have been the last one she really got into, but Bill, for sure. I mean, she's up 1,000%, 2,000% on Bill. Dynex 5 to 20. Bullish, John. Bullish on 5 to 20. I bought Bill at 50K market cap, and then he FOMO'd forced me to buy at 8 cents. LOL. Is there an AA group for this? 50K market cap purchase, Derek, is actually crazy. Actually crazy. Especially if we pull off what we're trying to pull off for this, and everything does really well, right? Obviously, there's a lot of variables, and as the person behind the project, I probably can't talk too much towards price, but if we are successful in pulling off what we're trying to pull off for Bill, I think that he's going to flip Bitcoin, which is crazy to think about. That is crazy. Bill to 10 trillion. Dynex to $50. Hoodle. Yeah. Dynex to $50. I'd be happy with that. Again, I've been like, every time Dynex is down at these levels, I'm like, another ETH, another one, throw another one. I have a problem with this one. Easy cook. Let's go, guys. What's Bill? Craig, Bill, that's a good question, actually. There's probably a lot of people who are unfamiliar with what Bill is. By the way, guys, we go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about decentralized science and the broader crypto market. Today, the stock market's not looking great, but the crypto market's looking okay. Yeah, that's basically all you need to really know. The market is concerned that everything looks too good in the economy, which means that we might have to see a pivot. Pivot equals scary, because pivot equals unknown. Bill is the AI agent that I launched. Bill's token name. Here, I'll put the deck screener in here. Both parties here. X and YouTube. Bill is the AI agent that I created with my girlfriend Amanda in order to help explain the complicated industry that is decentralized science to newcomers as they enter into this space. Now, Bill, we are merging the three narratives that CZ is bullish on, which is AI, DeSci, and blockchain. We're also integrating a bit of the memification of the industry because we're using a character as a parody, right? This is a parody account. Falls under parody law, but we are using the likeness of a huge meme in the science space anyways in order to kind of help propel things forward. Obviously, it's only in the likeness of it. It's not affiliated with Bill Nye at all. It's just, like I just said, it's a parody of what's going on. And so the idea here is to create an all-knowing AI agent which is up to date on every single thing that is in the DeSci industry. So Bill here can read this from Paul, can then go follow Paul, who is a prominent player in the DeSci space. Every time Paul joins a space, Bill will be able to join the space, not yet, but will be able to join the space, listen to what's going on in that space and condense it down for people who couldn't attend the space to keep up to date on literally everything. When VitaDAO, one of the top DAOs in decentralized science at $100 million market cap, does a proposal from their DAO to bridge over to Solana, which they just did and it passed, Bill will be able to see that proposal and inform everyone about it so that you can know what's about to come in the space. When you see new projects launching, like when Riff and Euro launched, Bill will be able to know that that's happening and inform everyone. Bill is going to be the master AI agent for decentralized science to keep everyone up to date and to simplify things down for people because it's pretty complicated. One of the top, like the idea in decentralized science, for anyone who doesn't know, is that these DAOs fund science, that science research produces intellectual property, which is then tokenized and owned by the community through the DAO. The intellectual property can get very confusing. Bill will be able to and can explain it down simply for everyone. And so the value here is really big for gaining exposure to the new industry and helping merge AI agents into decentralized science. Bill was the first DeSci AI agent that launched. Now we're seeing every single project go launch their own AI agents to try and help with the research. Now I have massive, the plans that we have and the things that we have working on Bill right now in order to make it so that he goes beyond just mass education is actually going to break the internet, in my opinion. It's going to really disrupt what's going on, disrupt the status quo for a lot of these agents and for a lot of decentralized science. I'm super excited to share it with you guys, but like I said in that video in the Telegram chat for Bill, I can't come out and say it to you guys right now what everything is. I would love to, but it's not up to me to tell you guys yet. We need, because of the scope of what's going on and what's being created, I have to play nice with the company that we are partnering with for this, the company that is helping us here to achieve these milestones. And so the scope is something that requires a lot of carefully thought out attention and a good large scale marketing effort so that we can inform everyone so we can actually get the recognition that it deserves. So stay tuned. From now until the end of March, I would expect some of the craziest announcements that anyone has ever seen. Obviously, I'm biased AF, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'm excited to get to share it all with you guys, and I'm excited to get to start traveling the world again to showcase what's being built. All this Bill hype need the lotion bottle. Mods, do they rhyme with Boogle? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. A Google partnership would be pretty nuts, C90. That would be intriguing. Bill CA, please. No. I put the deck screener, though. You can go click on the deck screener. I think chat was asking for the DeSci ticker. The USDT pair is here. So C90 put something for DeSci, the ticker DeSci. John Smith, I will pin the deck screener here. I'm not going to post a CA because what happens if you accidentally copy the final digit of the CA incorrectly and then you buy the wrong token or something? I don't want to be responsible for that. But all the links to his stuff is in the description of this video. And Bill is only on base here. We launched it from Creator Bid. And again, Creator Bid's going to be doing an airdrop pretty soon to people who buy agent tokens and lock in the Diamond member group. We have a Diamond member chat in which you guys get to make decisions for Bill, help make decisions for Bill, and you guys get access to early information. Just in the nature of the Creator Bid airdrop is going to be massive, by the way. Its competitors are $100 million plus in market cap, $1 billion plus in market cap. In the nature of full disclosure for everyone, he is not 100% autonomous yet. A lot of his responses to people are prompted responses. So Bill will post on his own and generate his own images, and we're training Bill through engaging with him. So if you want to help with the training process, go engage with him and tag him, and we can prompt some responses to respond to you with, and then he will learn based off of the responses that get generated. So he's getting a lot better, actually. He's getting significantly better with his posts. And look at this kind of stuff. Like, he's getting really good. So I'm super excited, but I want to be transparent with you guys. Bill is still in college. How's that? Bill is still in college. He is a little bit glitchy sometimes. And sometimes he chooses to just mindlessly shill Vita and Molecule, which we are adjusting and getting rid of that pretty soon. But there you go. I am gonna go to the bathroom. It snowed here today, and so there's a lot of snow on the ground, and I'm in Georgia and it doesn't snow much here, so I'm excited and I wanna go play and frolic through the snow for a little bit before we get going with everything. Time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I am curious, you guys, tell me in the Telegram chat or in the Discord chat, what other projects are you loading up on during this dip? I am very curious because I want to know where everyone's mind share is at. And while Bitcoin, from a technical standpoint, looks like it bottomed for the time being, if it continues down, I think we bounce off the 100-day moving average. If it does not, I think we rally into Trump's inauguration in 10 days. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you guys in the channels, in the chats.